morning, good day, and good evening. This is Liam, the Retro Gamer 91, and today we are starting a playthrough of Metroid Prime for the Nintendo GameCube. So, it's been a long time since I've actually done a playthrough or a video with my voiceover. My apologies. It's been somewhat difficult to actually get a spare minute at the moment to sit down and not only just play a game but also do a recording. At the minute I've only been doing simple Super Nintendo games, so nothing too extravagant. But in any case, got the GameCube game here, and let's just get straight into it. So, start. Now, it's probably best that I'm actually doing a voiceover for this game. Samus isn't exactly one that talks much. So, unidentified distress beacon has been tracked to a derelict space vessel in orbit of Talon 4. So, I think this was the first 3D Metroid game. Because all the rest had been 2D shooters, really, hadn't they? In regards to the timeline of when this is actually placed, I'm not entirely well versed in the Metroid lore, so I could be wrong, but I believe it's not that long positioned after the very first Metroid game. So this is actually connected to the very first Metroid game on the NES, which I've actually done a video on myself as well. I've got part 1 on YouTube, which I really should go back to at some point. So with this being the first 3D Metroid game, they really had to show it off. So of course you've got the big dramatic entrance of Samus now. Here she comes. And there she is. So with these playthroughs, with these videos, I'm going to try and keep them short. So with this episode, we're just going to do the Frigate, so basically the prologue of the game. And then once we hit Talon 4, I'll end that part. And providing I'm not nearly as busy over the next few coming days and weeks, I should get more of these parts out. Okay, so let's have a look. So with this game, to get the true 100% ending, it requires the player to get 100% in the logbook and 100% item collection. So you can scan your ship. Oh, okay, no, you can't scan your ship yet. That's a bit of a pain. So red scans, as you can see here, are what I'm going to call key scans, things that you need to scan in order to either progress or complete segments of the game. So pirate lore or just in-game lore that you can scan will come up red. Key consoles will also come up red, so most lifts, if you need to activate them, or switches, will be red. It really just helps it stand out from all the rest, because all the rest come up as orange. So this is a screen you're probably going to get used to seeing with my playthrough, at least in particular, and that's just running around with the scan visor on all the time. Unless, of course, we know 100% there's nothing to scan in the room. So it's like a haunted ship initially, going through these halls. It's just, we don't really know what's happened. It's just derelict. A distress beacon's been sent out and the ship seems to just be in absolute bits. So here we go. Oh. A new creature entry has been downloaded to your logbook. Morphology. Parasite interstellar vermin. Travels in swarms. Indigenous to Talon 4, a single parasite is harmless to larger life forms. However, they tend to travel in large groups. Swarming over potential prey such swarms can be dangerous. Yeah, it requires an incredible amount of them little bugs to actually hurt you. Now, I'm not going to necessarily scan everything. I mean, like, such things like these. Escape pod entrance, the vessel has already begun jettisoning. Evacuation occurred 6 hours prior to your arrival. So, stuff like that. It's just... I'm going to call in-game trivia, just so you can get a grasp of what's around you. Some of it's actually quite interesting, but not necessarily everything. Like, I find scanning these bodies, it's interesting to see how some of them have died. Like this one over here is still alive. Weak life signs detected. Imprints of large bite marks can be seen on the exoskeleton. So this person's been nibbled to death and is on death's door, and I just pushed him through. So, I mean, I'm not going to bother scanning them. And scanning the doors, it just tells you what corridor these were. Use the charge beams to destroy the rubble. Although the debris is obstructing the hallway, it looks like it can be easily removed. Okay, here's another corpse. More theology. Space pirate status. Death caused by excessive blunt trauma to the cranium. So, essentially, the guy's head got crushed. And you've got to scan to understand that. I think it's pretty clear cut. You can see the guy's got no head. So these little bugs are actually showing me where to go. So a little morph ball into this room. And here we have a map. New research entry has been downloaded to your logbook. Map station. Walk into map station holograms to download a map of the area you're in. Now, I'm not going to commentate everything I scan, so don't worry. I'm not going to bore everyone to tears. And I'll let you read it. You know, I'll keep it up long enough. If it's up long enough for me to read, I'd assume it's up long enough for everyone else to read. So here's your map. An interesting way of doing it. It sure beats the Legend of Zelda map, where it's just a literal paper. Well, they kind of keep it as like a little treasure map-esque design, don't they? So, let's get out of here. Okay, let's go. Access to deck beta approved. Hologram. Let's go. Okay, so... Ooh, what's that? This energy conductor unit has been damaged. Use caution when approaching. Yeah, I don't think I need to scan to really understand the fact it's danger. I don't want to get shocked. So what's through here? What is that? Unknown life signs detected. The creature appears to be in a state of stasis hibernation. Okay, well, let's just leave him as he is. Oh, there's another one. Space pirate. Both legs of the creature are broken. So, if it wasn't for me coming in and literally murdering this person, he could have made a potential full recovery. What's wrong with him? He looks drunk. Severe internal damage detected. So he's got internal bleeding. Alright, something else. Research entry entered. Small energy replenishes 10 units of energy. So basically health. Let's have a look around here. That's a turret. New creatures. Okay. Auto defense turret. Use missiles. No, I'm not going to use missiles. I'll just charge up. Here's our first log. New pirate data entry has been downloaded to your logbook. Space pirate encrypted data decoded. Log 09.992.3. Zeebs has fallen. All ground personnel are presumed dead, either killed by the hunter clad in metal or the subsequent destruction of the underground facilities. our research frigates Orpheon, Syracuse and Vol Paragon were in orbit at 0 hour and managed to retreat. Frigate Orpheon is now docked at Vortex Outpost. Orpheon's cargo appears to have a 100% survival rate. Metroids are healthy but on restricted feeding schedules due to uncertain supply status. We are ready to begin research on Metroids and other promising life forms. Security status remains at Code Blue. No signs of pursuit from the hunter. So they're quite literally terrified of me chasing them. And I may have just butchered the names of the frigates. I think it's Orpheon. I think that's how you say it. Let's have a look. So here's a lift. Oh, there's another dying pirate. What's wrong with this one? Severe internal damage detected. Let's put him out of his misery. Another one. Brain hemorrhage detected. Creature's aim will be hindered. Avoid damage by using quick movements. Right, okay. What about this one? Minimal injuries assessed. Use caution. Maximum firepower recommended. You have to tell me twice. We're not exactly overly dangerous, but he's getting a lot of shots in. But thankfully I'm getting a lot of health back. Obstruction detected in reactor ventilation system. Engineering crew reports a freight lift corridor immediately. Right. Okay, that's a turret. So we're basically on our way to the first boss. Access to deck gamma approved. The first boss, of course, is the Parasite Queen. It's not particularly a hard boss, but of course, being the first one, it's not expected to be. Door lock enabled, so we can now open this door. Taking chunks out of me. Looks like a spherical shape would fit in this clamp. Hint, hint. Okay, I find it quite peculiar that the pirates have got a locking mechanism which just so happens to fit the morph ball. Considering that they can't seem to suss out the technology that Samus has, so that's quite an interesting lock that they seem to have. But I'm pretty sure it's just summed up to it's a game. So let's save, and we're actually just one door away from the first boss, so I'm going to count the boss as the halfway point for the prologue. So let's open the door, get in there, kill the boss, and then make a hasty escape. Oop, get on a morph ball. Here we go. So, brief little cutscene. There she is. Okay, so this is actually a very easy boss to do. I mean, we'll scan it. That's one thing that's very important, the boss scans. So, morphology, Parasite Queen, Parasite Female, genetically enhanced by unknown means. A weak spot has been detected in this creature's mouth. Use your auto-targeting to acquire this new target. Scans indicate the presence of a potent mutagen. Origins unknown. Creature exhibits the ability to fire weapon-grade blasts of energy from its mouth, a trait not present in the standard Parasite Geo. It appears the pirates have begun a bioengineering program with considerable results. So, basically just shoot the thing in its mouth. And it's a very easy boss to do. A few charged up beams will kill it. then of course the force field surrounding it does that. But if you're lucky, you can actually get a good shot in. So naturally, this thing's taken like a nest above the reactor, so when it dies, it's going to bring the whole place down with it. So we're nearly finished here, actually. Almost there. Almost there. Oh, come on, one more shot. There we go. Parasite Queen is defeated. You get like a little achievement points in the Metroid Prime trilogy for doing boss fights. It's been a long time since I've played either the Nintendo Wii version or this GameCube version. Okay, so the place is going to blow up. We're on a timer of just under 7 minutes. Should be plenty of time. Okay, let's get out of here. Go, go, go. What's this one? Oh. Right. This creature is deceased. Creature's incubation period was prematurely terminated. Its shell is not yet fully hardened. Interesting. Oh, good. Oh, gracious. Let's have a look at this. Okay, let's get out of here. We've got 6 minutes as of now. Ah, there's the swarms that they were talking about earlier. These are the little parasite things. As you can see, I just trodden through potentially 100 of them, and they took my health down by 1. You know, as a child, when I first played this part of the game in particular, because you're just continuously going down and all the rooms look the same, I really did start to kind of panic because I was... The clock's ticking. I didn't know how much longer I had to go. I didn't know how much time, if it was enough time to really get to where I needed to be. So it was a really mad panic. And for some reason the doors, they just kept taking ages to open. It was like the load on the door was incredibly ridiculous. And then you've got stuff like this that just doesn't encourage the situation to end nicely. So here we are, 4 minutes 50 seconds. A lot of stuff to obstruct my view. Got doors, turrets, everything to try and slow you down. So all in all, a pretty good prologue. Kind of gets you set up for what you're in for. Whoa! Whoa! That actually made me jump. It's been a long time. I nearly ran right into that damn thing. Okay, so we're actually nearly at the end of this now. I keep looking to the map in the top right corner. Oh, Meta Ridley. Again, I'm not fully versed in the Metroid lore, but I believe Samus has got a really bad grudge against Ridley because it was Ridley that was responsible for the death of her parents. So, yeah, that's going to give you a understandable grudge against him. This is interesting. Meta Ridley, cerebral casing stable, exoskeleton seal holding, begin umbilical retraction. So he's been getting like a refit. Weapon update complete. Stinger ballistics online, plasma fuel cell online. So, yeah, I believe he was like an actual dragon, like flesh and blood, and since the last encounter, he's had to basically get like completely rebuilt. Ah, yes, that part in the game where you lose all your equipment. Surely the suit shouldn't be that susceptible to... I was pushed pretty hard, and I've lost half my stuff. The morph ball, missile malfunction, charge beam malfunction, grapple beam malfunction. Now, it didn't mention the space jump, so I seem to still have it right now, but I'm sure that by the time you get to Talon 4, which is any second now, yeah, I've still got it. Unless that's just... oh yeah, my jump still seems to be pretty high. I'm sure you lose that. Here we go. Oh, there's Ridley. Maybe kept the jump in just for that cutscene, so it would make a bit more sense. So the only reason I'm actually going down to Talon 4 is because I'm pursuing Ridley. Now that, if that's not a grudge, I don't know what is. Tracking on enemy targets has been lost. Ground-based recon required. Begin landing sequence. You know, I want to say Metroid Prime's not an old game, but it really is now, isn't it? GameCube. What's that? 2003, 4? I don't know what year this came out, but you know, it's coming up to 20 years, if not already past. It's actually nostalgic. Talon Overworld. This is I'm getting a sense of nostalgia being here. So now I'm on Talon 4. The prologue essentially is over. So I'm going to end it here. I'll save here. And I hope you enjoyed the game thus far. I know it's not much, obviously, but the beginning of the game is usually the slowest. So I'll save it again, just for that little animation of going into the ship. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know with the current situation, there's not much people can do, so if I can at least give you some form of entertainment, then I'm happy. By all means, please like, comment and subscribe. And as always, this is Liam, the Retro Gamer 91, signing off.